Welcome to the Homeownership Podcast presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 166, Picking a Real Estate Agent. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week I want to talk to you about the all-important subject of how do you choose a real estate agent? So many of us have cousins, uncles, sisters, wives, all these different people involved in real estate. And we wonder, should we go with them? Should we go with somebody else? Is it the person that I see on all the signs? Is it the person I see on the billboards? Is it the person that I see online? How do I really choose it? Why do I really need to be so protective? All those topics we're going to go over here today because it is a huge decision. And funny enough, people make decisions like, well, that person's good looking, I trust them. Or, that person looks very businesslike, I trust them. Reality is, there's lots of great ways to figure out who you want to work with. First off, trust. Trust is the biggest thing we must have in order to correctly work with a real estate agent. Oftentimes, clients come to us and they don't trust us. And the thing with not trusting us is that means they're lying to us oftentimes, giving us fake numbers, fake news, and then we're unable to fully help them because we don't have their full trust. So when choosing a real estate agent, make sure to trust them. Without trust, you won't be able to enjoy all their benefits. That's really important. I know you can't trust someone right off the bat, but sometimes there's ways to build trust without even knowing that you're building trust. Some of the things are like going on Zillow, Google, Facebook. Do they have reviews? Do they have a page? Do they have other people that like their page? Do they have positive comments? Do they have negative comments? What do the different parts of their real estate career look like? Now, I'm not telling you to go on there and judge what they did last Friday night or whatever, because now we can see into everyone's lives, and trust me, we're all the same. We go out, we have a fun time. It's all good. What I'm saying is make sure the people who have done real estate business with them have had good interactions. Oftentimes, Zillow is a great place to see that because it's very easy in the world to get a negative review, but it's very difficult, honestly, to get lots of people to go on and review you. Usually when you see someone who has a lot of reviews, you know one thing, they're a hard worker because they chase those reviews down, and another thing, they did people right because the person was willing to waste their time or take their time, however you want to see it as, to write that review, because for a lot of people, time is not of a huge overabundance, right? Time's our most limited asset, most expensive asset. The only thing we don't get back, we don't get any more of, is our time. So by taking their time to write you that review, that's going to show somebody, especially a consumer, that this is a safe choice. Now, when we're looking for a real estate agent, we also want to make sure that they're a good negotiator. A great agent will really help you in your transaction. They're going to give you advice on pricing all the way to negotiating out the contract. Negotiations are really important to really understand balance. Some people think that, oh, this agent's great because they keep landing these houses and stuff, but we're going to look at things like the list price versus sale price ratio. Oftentimes we see in luxury marketplaces agents who take homes, tell people they can get them a ton of money for the home, wait 60 days, ask for a price break and a few other times, and then eventually the home sells. You don't want to be stuck with that person. You want to be stuck with the person that's the chief negotiator, the numbers they say they can really get, that they're going to put the energy in that your deal deserves, that they're really going to pay attention to the numbers that work best for you and not just the numbers that work best to get the deal done. Knowing that someone's negotiating on your behalf and making sure they keep you first is kind of one of the most important things, and really, obviously, then the trust and the negotiation kind of got to go hand in hand, right? Because if we trust someone, we're going to allow them to negotiate for us. But if we don't trust them, we're going to try to negotiate for ourselves, and then we're going to kind of null and void the agent's negotiation skills out because we're going to make our own decisions. Sometimes negotiations can be interesting. They take tolerance, they take understanding, they take compassion, and then they take aggression. You need to know, is now the time to get hard, or is now the time to be a little softer and just see if we can gain a little ground by being amicable? We always need to be paying attention as negotiators, so that's why having the negotiator in your agent is really important. Now let's go over the acronym OLDCAR. It stands for obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, and reasonable care. These are the guidelines or bounds that we have as real estate agents that are licensed in the state of Massachusetts. We have to give all of our clients old car. So obedience means I have to follow what you say. Loyalty means I'm not allowed to do something across your back, right? I'm not allowed to throw you under the bus. I have to be there and be loyal to you. Disclosure means if I know material defects on the home, I must disclose them. Confidentiality means if you tell me things like I'm getting divorced or I have an abundance of money and I could spend way more this, any of these things, they're confidential. Accountability means when you give us funding, I have to be accountable to it. I have to make sure that everything is accounted for. And then reasonable care means that I have to do my job, and if I was to be looked at by the court, did I give you reasonable care? And that's an important one. So now let's jump a little bit more into the topic of where do you find a great agent, right? How do you pick one? So Zillow Agent Finder, great location. The MLS system, great location. Reaching out to friends and family who have done past deals, another great resource for it. You want to make sure the people you're working with are the people that you want to work with and picking it right the first time. Over here at Momentum Realty, we practice what we call our Move Mentor principles, which is the idea that our agents are a mentor and a guide in the process of buying, selling, and owning a home. Oftentimes, we are miscategorized in the idea of the license is called a salesperson's license. But being a salesperson in real estate is really not being that trusted advisor. It's not being that mentor. It's not being that guide. So over here at Momentum, we really like our agents to understand, yes, I'm a salesperson by license, but I'm not selling you this home as much as I'm pairing you with the correct home for your needs. I'm not trying to sell your home. I'm trying to find the best person to match this home because they're going to be willing to give us the most money. The person who needs the least change to your home, that sees it for exactly what you saw it as, is going to be that person that pays you the most amount of money. I know a lot of people believe that getting the most amount of people will get you the most amount of money, and it does in some scenarios. But the truth is, the person who feels like the house was built for them, they're going to love it and they're going to give you the most. So with these Move Mentor principles, we really just try to help people. And then beyond that, we like to help them even after they own the home. When you go to do upgrades, updates, things like that, are you going to sell in the future? Once we answer all those questions, we can give you more guidance on what you should and shouldn't do renovation or addition-wise on your home. Thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast. I hope that helps you in the journey of picking a real estate agent. If you need an agent that cares, that's going to be a Move Mentor to you, reach out to us over here at Momentum Realty. We'd love to help. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast. Tell all your friends and family about it. Also, if you have any ideas for future episodes, reach out to us. We'd love to make episodes based on what the public wants. Thank you and have a great day.